I need to tell you about the most terrifying night of my life. And I mean that literally. This happened about 2 years ago, when I was still using dating apps. I know, everyone has horror stories about those things. But mine is different. I had matched with this woman named Sarah on one of those apps. We'd been messaging back and forth for maybe 3 or 4 days. The conversation was good, nothing incredible, but solid enough. She seemed normal, funny, even. She worked as a nurse at one of the hospitals downtown, and she mentioned she often worked late shifts. After a few days of chatting, she suggested we meet up. But here's the thing, she wanted to meet at this 24-hour diner on the edge of town. Not exactly the most romantic spot, right? When I asked why there, she said it was close to her apartment and she felt more comfortable meeting somewhere public for a first date. That made sense to me. Safety first and all that. So I agreed. We set it up for 11 p.m. on a Thursday night. Late, I know, but she said she was getting off a shift and that was the only time that worked for her. The diner was one of those classic chrome and neon places. You know the type, red vinyl booths, checkered floor, fluorescent lights that buzz just a little too loud. When I pulled into the parking lot, I noticed it was pretty empty. Maybe 2 or 3 other cars. The lot was dimly lit, with only a few working streetlights casting long shadows across the pavement. I walked in, and there she was, already sitting in a booth near the window. She looked like her photos, shoulder-length dark hair, maybe early 30s, wearing a gray hoodie. When she saw me, she gave a small wave. Not exactly enthusiastic, but I figured she was just nervous. First dates, you know? I slid into the booth across from her and said hello. She said hi back, but her voice was quiet. Strained, almost. I asked her how her shift went, trying to break the ice. She said it was fine, but she didn't elaborate. Just fine. That's when I started noticing something was off. Her eyes kept darting toward the window. Not in a casual way, either. Every few seconds, she'd glance outside, scan the parking lot, then look back at me. It was like she was expecting someone, or watching for someone. I tried to ignore it at first. Maybe she was just anxious. Some people are like that on first dates. So I kept the conversation going. I asked about her work, about what she liked to do for fun, the usual stuff. She answered, but her responses were short, distracted, and she kept looking outside. At one point, the waitress came over, this older woman with tired eyes and a coffee pot that looked like it had been refilled 1,000 times that night. She asked what we wanted. I ordered coffee and a burger. Sarah just asked for water. Just water. The waitress nodded and walked away, and I remember thinking, who meets someone at a diner and doesn't even order food? I tried to make a joke about it. I said something like, not hungry? I promise I'm not that boring. She forced a smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. Then she looked out the window again. This time, I followed her gaze. The parking lot was still mostly empty. I could see my car where I'd left it, parked under one of the few working lights. There was a van a few spaces down, and another sedan near the entrance. Nothing unusual, but Sarah was staring like she'd seen something. Is everything okay? I asked. She snapped her attention back to me. Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, but she wasn't fine. I could see it in the way her hands were gripping the edge of the table. Her knuckles were white. I leaned forward a little. Sarah, seriously, if something's wrong, you can tell me. Are you feeling all right? Do you need to leave? She opened her mouth like she was about to say something, but then she looked outside again, and her face went pale. I'm talking ghost white. Like all the blood just drained out of her. Before I could ask what she saw, she stood up abruptly. The booth creaked. I have to go, she said. Her voice was shaking. Wait, what? Right now? I'm sorry. I have to go. And then she was walking toward the door. Fast. Almost running. I sat there, frozen, watching her push through the glass door and disappear into the parking lot. She didn't even look back. I didn't know what to do. Part of me wanted to follow her, make sure she was okay. But another part of me thought, maybe I dodged a bullet. Maybe she was just crazy, and this was some kind of red flag I should be grateful I saw early. The waitress came back with my coffee and burger. She glanced at the empty seat across from me. Your friend leave? Yeah, I said. I guess she did. I sat there for a minute, trying to process what had just happened. Then my phone buzzed. It was a message from Sarah's account. My stomach dropped when I read it. It said, "Don't go to your car." I stared at the screen. My first thought was, is this a joke? Some kind of weird prank? But then I remembered the look on her face, the fear in her eyes. That wasn't acting. I typed back, "What? Why? What's going on?" No response. I waited. 10 seconds. 20. Nothing. My hands were starting to shake. I looked out the window toward the parking lot, trying to see my car from where I was sitting. It was still there, parked under the light. Everything looked normal. But then I saw him. A figure. Standing next to my car. He was wearing a dark hoodie, pulled up over his head. Just standing there, completely still, right beside the driver's side door. Not leaning against it. Not looking at his phone. Just standing. Facing the diner. My blood went cold. I tried to convince myself it was nothing. Maybe it was just someone walking to their own car. Maybe they were waiting for someone. But he wasn't moving. And the way he was positioned, it was like he was watching the entrance. Watching for me. I pulled my phone out again and called Sarah. It rang once, then went straight to voicemail. I tried again. Same thing. Then I sent another text. "There's someone by my car. What do I do?" This time, she responded immediately. "Stay inside. I'm calling the police." The police? My heart was pounding now, slamming against my ribs. I looked back out the window. The man was still there. He hadn't moved an inch. I stood up and walked over to the counter where the waitress was wiping down the coffee machine. My voice came out shaky. "Hey, this is going to sound weird, but do you see that guy in the parking lot? By the blue sedan?" She looked up, squinted through the window. "The one in the hoodie?" "Yeah. Has he been out there long?" She shrugged. "I don't know. Didn't notice him till now." "You know him?" "No." She frowned. "You want me to call someone?" "Someone already did," I said. "The police are coming." Her expression changed. Concern. Maybe a little fear. "What's going on?" "I don't know," I admitted. "But that guy. I think he's waiting for me." The minutes that followed felt like hours. I stayed near the counter, away from the windows, watching the man in the parking lot. He still hadn't moved. Just standing there like a statue. The waitress stayed with me, and I could tell she was nervous too. She kept glancing at the door, like she was ready to lock it if she needed to. Finally, I saw the flashing lights. 2 police cars pulled into the lot, no sirens, just lights. The man by my car noticed them immediately. He turned his head, looked at the cruisers, and then, without running, without panicking, he just walked away. Casually. Like he had all the time in the world. He crossed the parking lot, walked past the diner, and disappeared down the side street. The officers got out and approached the diner. One of them came inside, a tall guy with a serious face. He asked me what happened, and I told him everything. The date. Sarah leaving. The message. The man by my car. He nodded, taking notes. Then he said, "We're going to check your vehicle. Stay here." I watched through the window as the other officer walked over to my car with a flashlight. He circled it slowly, checking the doors, looking underneath, shining the light through the windows. After a few minutes, he came back and spoke to his partner. The officer inside turned to me. "Your car looks fine. No signs of tampering, but we found fresh scratches on the door handle. Like someone tried to jimmy it open." My stomach turned. So he was trying to break in? "Looks that way," he said. "Do you have any idea why? Any enemies? Anyone who'd want to hurt you?" "No. I don't know that guy. I've never seen him before." "What about the woman you were meeting? Sarah? Do you know her last name?" I pulled out my phone and showed him her profile. He took a picture of it with his own phone. Then he said, "We're going to follow up on this. In the meantime, I'd suggest you don't go anywhere alone tonight. Is there someone you can call? Stay with?" I nodded. "Yeah, I can call my brother." "Good. We'll escort you to your car now, make sure you get out safely, and we'll be filing a report. If you see that man again anywhere, you call us immediately." The officer walked me to my car, and I got in with shaking hands. I locked the doors immediately, started the engine, and got the hell out of there. I tried calling Sarah again on the drive home. No answer. I sent her a text, "Are you okay? What was that about?" She never responded. The next day, I checked the dating app. Her profile was gone. Deleted. I tried searching for her name, her photos. Nothing. It was like she'd never existed. I went to the police station to follow up. They told me they tried to contact her using the phone number from her profile, but it went to a disconnected line. They checked the hospital she claimed to work at. No one by that name worked there. Not now, not ever. To this day, I have no idea who Sarah really was. I don't know if she set me up, or if she saved me. I don't know who that man in the parking lot was, or what he wanted. The police never found him. But I think about it all the time, especially late at night. Because if Sarah hadn't sent that message, if I'd walked straight to my car like I normally would have, I don't know what would have happened. And honestly, I don't want to know.